What's the most heartless thing parents told you to do, but you didn't listen? My parents told me to abandon my disabled brother at the state facility and never visit him. They said it with the casual cruelty of people ordering coffee. He won't remember you anyway, my mother said, signing the papers. His brain doesn't work like that. You're wasting your life on someone who doesn't even know you exist. Tommy was 24, autistic, and had been living in the Riverside Care Center since he turned 18. Not because we couldn't care for him, but because my parents were embarrassed. He couldn't speak conventionally, made loud noises when overwhelmed, and didn't fit their image of a successful family. They told everyone he died years ago rather than admit they had a disabled son. I was supposed to follow their lead. Forget Tommy existed. Focus on my career, marry someone appropriate, give them normal grandchildren. They'd already rewritten our family history, removing his photos, donating his belongings, turning his room into an office within a week of his institutionalization. When relatives asked about him, we were supposed to say there had been an accident, but every Tuesday and Thursday, I drove 90 minutes each way to see him. I'd tell my parents I was at yoga or book club. Tommy would light up when he saw me, making his happy humming sound, grabbing my hand to show me his drawings. He drew constantly, elaborate patterns that the staff dismissed as meaningless repetition, but were actually complex mathematical sequences. I knew because I'd started researching them. The facility was understaffed, underfunded, overcrowded. Tommy's room had 3 other residents, no privacy, bare walls because decorations were overstimulating. They had him on 7 different medications to keep him manageable, which meant he slept 16 hours a day. This wasn't care, it was storage. My parents found out about my visits when they tried to claim him as a dependent on their taxes. The facility mentioned my frequent visits, assuming we were a close family. My father called me immediately. "You're done visiting him. It's pathological. This attachment to someone who can't even appreciate it. He's my brother, not a houseplant. He's nothing to this family anymore. If you keep visiting him, you're nothing to us either." They meant it. When I refused to stop, they changed the locks on their house, removed me from their will, told extended family I'd joined a cult. They created an elaborate story about my mental breakdown, how I'd become obsessed with a stranger at a care facility, how they'd tried to help me but I'd refused treatment. Relatives started calling, concerned about my psychological state. I didn't care. I started the paperwork to become Tommy's legal guardian. It took 2 years of legal battles since my parents contested it, claiming I was unstable. During the hearings, I presented Tommy's drawings to a mathematics professor who confirmed they were advanced fractals. I showed videos of him using sign language I'd taught him, communicating complex thoughts. I demonstrated that with proper support and reduced medication, he was capable of far more than anyone had believed. The judge ruled in my favor. The day I brought Tommy home to my apartment, he spent 3 hours exploring every corner, touching every surface, memorizing his new space. That night, for the first time in 6 years, he slept without medication. He woke up once, came to my room, and signed safe before going back to bed. Without the numbing medications, Tommy flourished. He learned to cook simple meals, started using an AAC device to communicate, even got a part-time job sorting mail at a local nonprofit. He still had challenges, still got overwhelmed sometimes, but he was living, not just existing. My parents showed up one day, 5 years after I'd taken custody. They'd seen a news article about Tommy's art exhibition, where his mathematical drawings had sold for thousands, with proceeds going to disability advocacy. Suddenly, they wanted their son back in their lives. "We made a mistake," my mother said, tears perfectly timed. "We want to know our son." Tommy was standing behind me. He signed rapidly. "They said I was dead. You said I was alive. They put me away. You brought me home." "No." He says no. I translated. "You've poisoned him against us," my father accused. "No, you abandoned him. He remembers everything. Every Tuesday you didn't come, every birthday you ignored, every time you told people he didn't exist." They threatened legal action to get visitation rights. Tommy's lawyer, whom he'd hired with his art money, sent them a cease and desist letter that included documentation of their abandonment and fraud regarding his death. They never contacted us again. Tommy's 35 now. He has his own apartment with support staff he chose himself. He teaches art classes for other autistic adults. Last week he signed to me, "Thank you for not listening to them. My parents were wrong." He remembers everything. He knows exactly who fought for him and who threw him away. And every Tuesday and Thursday, without fail, he calls me just to sign "I love you" through the video screen.